All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are cracking open the secrets of the human brain, all thanks to neuroscientist Dr. Tara Swart and her incredible book, The Source. We're going to explore how you can stop being just a passenger in your own life and really become the architect of your future. And the best part? It's all based on the real, tangible science of your very own mind.
So let me ask you something, and I want you to be honest with yourself. Do you ever feel like you're just living on autopilot? Going through the motions, taking that same old route to work, having the same conversations, stuck in patterns that feel familiar but maybe not so fulfilling. See, your brain actually loves autopilot. It's efficient, it saves energy, but that efficiency can come at a cost. It can keep us stuck.
And let's be real. What does that autopilot actually feel like? Maybe it's that job that, well, it pays the bills, but that's about it. Or that nagging feeling that life is just slipping through your fingers. Or maybe it's struggling to find relationships that are actually healthy and fulfilling. If any of that hits home for you, then you are in exactly the right place. Because the key to switching off that autopilot, it's already inside your head.
And this brings us to, honestly, one of the biggest game changers in modern science. The one idea that completely flips the script. And it's this. Your brain isn't fixed, it's not set in stone, it is constantly changing. And this is the crucial part. You can actually direct that change.
The fancy scientific term for this is neuroplasticity. But what does that really mean? It's your brain's incredible, almost magical ability to rewire itself. Think about that for a second. Every single thought you have, every action you take, every new thing you learn, it physically forges new pathways in your brain. So what this all boils down to is a simple, powerful truth. You are not stuck with the brain you have right now.
And if there's one phrase you take away from this, make it this one. It's super catchy and makes the whole idea click. Neurons that fire together wire together. Basically, the more you repeat a thought or an action, the stronger that connection in your brain becomes. It's like carving a path in a forest. This is exactly how habits are formed, both the good and the bad ones. But the amazing thing is, it's also how we can intentionally build brand new, better habits. Okay, so we know we can physically change our brains. That's huge. But where do you even begin? Well, Dr. Swart says it all starts with a fundamental lens you use to see the world. It really comes down to a battle between two core mindsets, an abundance mindset versus a lack mindset. And you can see the two paths laid out so clearly, right? The lack mindset is all about fear. It's what makes us play it safe, avoid risks, and cling to the past. It keeps us stuck. But the abundance mindset, that's totally different. It sees possibility everywhere. It's about creating new opportunities and building resilience. It's the deep down belief that there's enough to go around for everyone. And let me tell you, that belief is the perfect fertile ground for neuroplasticity to work its magic.
Okay, so we've got the science down. Our brains can change. And we know we need that abundance mindset. But the big question is, how do we actually do it? This is where the rubber meets the road. Let's get into the toolkit and look at the practical, everyday things you can start doing like right now.
So the first tool in our kit is something called an action board. Now, you might think, oh, a vision board, but this is like a vision board with a serious neuroscientific upgrade. This isn't just about wishful thinking. When you gather images of what you want and look at them every single day, you are actively training your brain. You're priming it to notice the people and opportunities in your environment that will help you get there. You're literally giving your brain a visual roadmap for the new neural pathways you want to create. And to really see just how powerful this can be, let's talk about a real example from the book. This is about a woman named Pippa. She was in a really unhappy marriage, but she was completely paralyzed by fear. Fear of all the practical stuff, fear of the unknown. She was just trapped in this endless loop of anxiety. And this is where everything changed for her. Her action board, that was the turning point. For the first time, it helped her actually visualize a future she wanted, a future filled with empowerment and adventure, not the one she was so afraid of. It cut through the noise of her fear and gave her the clarity she needed to finally take action. So this brings us to the science behind why an action board actually works, and the concept is called value tagging. See, your brain is getting bombarded with millions of bits of information every second. It can't possibly pay attention to all of it. Value tagging is like the brain's bouncer. It's the unconscious process of deciding what information gets past the velvet rope and into your awareness. It's what directs your focus. And here's the perfect way to understand this. You know how it is? You decide you want a certain kind of car, maybe a red Mini, and then all of a sudden, you see them everywhere. It's not magic. Those cars were always there.
Your brain just hadn't put a value tag on them. As soon as you told your brain, hey, this is important to me now, it started pointing them out all over the place.
And here is the absolute best part. You can take conscious control of this whole process. When you use a tool like an action board, you are deliberately telling your brain what to value tag. You're basically programming your own attention filter to spot the people, the opportunities, the little signs that will help move you towards the future you actually want. This is how you make neuroplasticity work for you, instead of just letting it run on default.
So, when you put all of this together, what's the big takeaway? What's the bottom line? It's a massive shift in your own personal power. It's the realization that you are not a victim of your circumstances or your biology. You literally have the tools to become the architect of your own life.
Dr. Swart puts this incredible quote in the beginning of her book that, man, it just says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the heart of this entire idea. By understanding and then actively directing your brain, you really can take the helm. You can be the captain.
All right, so let's do a quick recap of the essentials. First, your brain is not fixed. It is constantly being rewired. Second, you have the choice to shift from a lack to an abundance mindset. Third, tools like action boards and value tagging aren't hocus pocus. They're real, practical ways to guide that change. And the most important thing to remember, you absolutely have the power to turn off autopilot.
And that right there is what makes this so incredibly empowering. This isn't about wishing or hoping. It isn't some mystical, abstract idea. The power to change your life isn't magic. It's neuroscience. It's about using the proven science of your own brain to create real, tangible, lasting change. So knowing everything we've just talked about, knowing that you can physically rewire your brain to build a totally new reality, there's really only one question left to ask yourself. What new pathway will you build first?